Hello, everyone. This is Zafar Abundance Wala, and you're watching Abundance Show on GAO TV. And GAO is Global Abundance Organization. And today we are joined by a lovely friend from Uganda, and he is Constantine. So, Constantine, please introduce yourself and let us know what are you doing, what have you been doing, and who are you, man?
Yeah, first of all, I'm very excited. I'm happy and I appreciate this day as it is a day of great God's connection because I didn't know that we are going to wake up and have this live stream. But we are here today, and I really, first of all, thank Abundance Wala for this opportunity of entrusting me to host me on this live video. And my name is Makwe Constantine. I'm 30 years old from Uganda and I'm a humanitarian. And I gave in my life towards charity when I was just 21 years old after the death of my foster mother, because for me, I didn't have a chance to see my biological parents, but I'm just told that I was rubbish picked and then adopted by the foster mother whom I grew up with as my little mother. That mother of mine was called Rosemary, and that is why the organization or the community-based organization which I started, I called it Rosemary Shadi's Love Foundation. It is all about restoring love, hope, and faith to the vulnerable families, to the less fortunate children, more especially by rescuing street children and also the abandoned children. And I'm very excited to tell you that at the moment, we are having 118 children who are under our rescue, whom we are taking care of at our facility. And it is my life mission, my calling, and my purpose where I feel like, wow, I'm doing something. I'm planting a seed of hope. I'm planting a seed of love and also faith in these children. And also, I'm very passionate farmer. I grow crops because I didn't have all that much education because I dropped out of school when my foster mother died. I had just joined the university. I was admitted to do a bachelor of agriculture. But when I left, since I had passion in agriculture, I started up growing crops, and from these crops, it is what helped us to get food for our orphanage children. At the same time, the surplus which we get, we use it, we sell it, so that we can get the home necessities of our orphanage. So briefly, that is me. I love agriculture. I love children. I love animals. I'm so passionate about seeing communities transforming. I love so much seeing children becoming self-sustainable, becoming self-reliant, and also I love seeing when we are empowering lives and several lives. So that is briefly me.
Thank you so much. It's you're doing an amazing stuff. Okay, Constantine, you're already doing amazing. This is, I mean, I'm for short of words right now. I really praise what you're doing.
Thank you.
What's abundance to you when you the word, you listen to the word or you read the word of abundance? What comes to your mind?
Abundance means embracing enough for not only me, but for all of us. To me, abundance means like first not considering me, but also all of us. It is you, me, and all of us when we are having enough, enough love, enough hope, enough faith, and enough resources, enough resources to help us to live. Because when I have abundance, it means that it is not only mine, but it's I can use the resources which I have even to empower others. So Abundance to me, it means having enough for not only me, but for you, me, and all of us.
Wow, you're there. I mean, it's abundance is not only having anything more than enough as long as material world is concerned, but it is much beyond that also. It's in fact this is a mindset.
Yeah,
The people have lot and still they are scarce in mindset. Countries do have lot of the resources, yet they are scarce in their mindset. But you would find people who do not have that lot of stuff as long as material context. But I mean, they are abundant at heart. They are so sweet and they have such a huge, big heart, oceanic heart. So it's abundance is again. I mean, what's your story? As you told that you were adopted by Mary, nun Mary, who just founded this organization, this orphanage, and you were brought up by her. And can you just walk us through your life story?
oh, wow, that is amazing. So, you want me to share with you part of my life story?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Part of my life story. Uh, First of all, once again, Konstantin Mapoe, uh, 31 years old. I'm making 31 years this year, so I'm 31-year old, and I'm a Ugandan by nationality, and I'm a humanitarian. I'm a philanthropist who take care of children. And this is my life story. My life story, I grew up in a slums of Kampala, Uganda, Africa, and I grew up with a very humble and a compassionate woman who was called Rosemary. This was my mother, and I grew up uh, in the slums. From my childhood, I knew her as the most person who any child could wish to have in life. So this story is a bit emotional. That is why, like every time when I'm saying it, but I grew up with my mother, Rosemary, along the slums of Kampala. During my childhood, we could walk when I was young. Every time my mom could carry me at her back, we go along the streets. Her major work was collecting plastic bags. And from these plastic bags, it was her job to sell them. We could take them and sell them. And each and every day, she could live on not more than $4. And for the $4 money, she could sell these plastic materials. It is the money we could use to buy food, to buy water, to pay for all the bills at home. But above all, what I appreciate most from my mother, she wasn't a rich lady, but she was a mother full of love. She told me about true respect for others, about faith in God, about giving back to community. At the same time, she really taught me how to always appreciate the little we are having in life. And above all, my mother tried so much to give me education because every time she could tell me that, Konstantin, I want you to acquire education because it is only through education which is going to help you to connect to the world, to network to people, and to be able to give a difference and also to inspire the nation. So my mother, every day, when I started schooling, every day she could go with me, but she could pay for me $1 installment per a semester to see that I could attend school. And even the school where I used to study, they knew her that she could always pay little money, but installment, because that is the little she had. My mother didn't have money, but what I knew from her, she was a billionaire. She had a very billionaire heart. Her heart was so kind, was so generous. So we are sleeping in a very linking house, a gray thatched house, whereby in case you could enter it, you could see the skies. But above all, I didn't see that, but I saw the love she always gave to me, the compassion, the care, and also the values, the lessons she used to give to me. So when I was up to 18 years, that is when I had to join university. I joined university, but by then my mother was getting weak, and somehow ill. So in my first semester at the university, I had a phone call. When they called me, it was a neighbor who called me and told me, Constantine, kindly, we need you home. Kindly come rush home because your mother is not doing okay. So I had to rush home. When I reached home, I found her on bed. And when I found her on bed, for sure, my mom cried and told me, Constantine, I'm really sorry. I'm so weak, and there is something I have hidden for long, and I want to tell it. I want to tell it to you today. My son, I have cancer. I have breast cancer, and I have stayed with it for a long period of time. And for sure, I don't have money to go for chemotherapy. The least money I could get, as me personally, it is the money which I have really been using to pay for your tuition. But right now, I can't work. I can't go walk miles along the street to collect plastic bags, which I have to sell to see that you can have tuition. So kindly, I don't know. And in big, it was emotional moment. From there, my mom told me, Constantine, there's something I want to tell you special before I leave, because I'm seeing cancer is eating me. Right now, I cannot walk. I cannot do what? By then, my mom, whom I left when could walk, was just crawling to move from the bed down, could just crawl using the hands. And when she gets down, I could only call the neighbors to help me to carry her to put her back on the bunker bed. So my mom told me, Constantine, all along, I have been your good mother, but I want you to know that I haven't been your biological mother. I rubbish picked you along the streets after the death of your mother. Your mother died along the way while going to the medical center, but unfortunately, she wasn't able to reach and she collapsed. She was a street lady. So none of the people knew who impregnated your mom. And when I came to find you along the rubbish, out after the community making an alarm about the lady who had died and left a live child at birth, I came. I took you as my child because I had prayed, I had tried several doctors to get a child in life, but I wasn't able. But when I got you, I took you as my exact child because I knew that God has brought you to my life to be my child. I requested the authority to give me powers to stay with you, but they didn't accept you. At first, they didn't accept because of the adoption requirements, which I didn't have because of my financial stand and where I was living. But then I explained to them my story to give me a chance. And under their monitoring, I took care of you, and up to until when they accepted me to have you as my own child. Surely it was hurting. It was heartbreaking that from that moment, that is that is your story, and that is what she told me. So when she told me that, in tears, I couldn't sustain. We were all crying. I held her tight. I had no option. I had no option but to accept, because all along I was trying to ask her, who are my relatives? Who is my dad? Where is my dad? But every time she could not give me the clear answer. So, like 2 months later, my mother died. And when she died, I already knew my story. I knew my genesis. All what came in my mind is I wanted to rescue children, to rescue street children. I started believing and knowing more that these street children, not all the street children who are on streets, they could have been wrongdoers, but some of them, they lost their parents. Some of them, they had never have a chance to be loved. They had never had a home where they could call a home, or a family which they could call a family. So I started, by then, Mom Rosemary had left a small piece of land and that linking house. So that is where I used to stay. I started to hire a piece of land to grow crops. I started by growing cabbages, some corns, and more vegetables. When I could grow and harvest some of the food I could harvest, I could sell some, because I wanted to renovate the linking house where I was living, which my mother had left. So I could sell some, and I could also have less, which I could take to some street children. I started going to street children. I started having some outreaches along the streets. I could go inspire these street children. I could collect them, inspire them, and tell them that you could not lose hope, because this is not the end of your story. So later on, I felt like I wanted to start bringing in to rescue some of these street children. So I went to the authority through the community, the local leaders. They saw what I was doing and they embraced it. They helped me to register as a community-based organization, which could to allow me to be legitimate to stay with these children. So I started by rescuing. I started with 6 children whom I could stay with them. I could do homeschooling. I could teach them, because I wanted to teach them on how to read, how to write, and also to teach them about God, about the spiritual realm of life, so that they can grow when they have true love from within out, not from without in. So that is how we started. We started looking for some different support people to join our cause. You know, it could be very challenging, because in Africa, you know, very many people, they come in the shadow of calling for help. And for these people, sometimes they are just taking advantage of the donors. But for the exact people who need help, sometimes they don't get it, because they lack the access and they lack the trust, yet they are the exact people who are making difference on ground. But for me, I had faith on what I was doing and on my life journey and on each and everything which I was doing. So I knew that the only way I should achieve this is to empower our orphanage into sustainability. It is not only requesting for donation every time, but to see how best, like in case we get the less support, we can utilize it to empower these children whom we are rescuing, so that they can become self-reliant and sustainable. So we do agriculture. I teach these children agricultural skills. I teach them hands-on skills every time, and also education. Right now, I'm very happy that we have got some generous people who helped us to build us a school. The school which we are building it is helping our orphanage children to have school education. But for us, we believe in education and skills, because it is only through skills that we are going to help these children to become self-sufficient, and they are going to be abundant in this world. So, and that is part of my story, and that is partly about Constantine.
This is heart-touching story, and what you are doing is so amazing, Constantine. Honestly, short of words. What are three advices you like to give it to your younger self that you have taken up from your elders, and then you want to extend three advices to the new people? Over to you.
I beg your pardon. I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So, what are the three advices, piece of advice that you got from your elders, and the three pieces of advices you want to give to the next generation?
The advices.
Advice,
Um,
advice, piece
yeah,
of advice. Yeah.
yeah. The piece of advice which I would want to give, I would want exactly what I base on at our foundation. Our foundation, it is basically built on three aspects. It is built on love, on hope, and then faith. For love, it is not all about love for one another, but love starting with us, with me, you, and all of us. For love, for each and everything we do, we have to love it. And when we love it, we should do it not for only our sake, but even for the next generation. Like in case I'm giving education, the education should not only be individual based, but instead we should see that this education which we are giving is sustainable. These children, they can easily use the education they have got into the next generation. So we have to love the world we are in. We have to love nature. Say that each and everything which we are doing, we look at it in a way that even in case we didn't find it, it means that in case we have found it, let even the next generation be in position to find it. So, love for each and everything, because when we have love, it means that we are going to easily be able to utilize the resources, not in a depleting way, but in the way that we can even sustain them for the next generation. Then hope. Hope is that most of us, we are living in the world of fear. We don't know, even people who are having abundance, they fear the kind of abundance which they are having. And that is why they are living in the selfish world. But when we are having hope, hope is that ability to pray for rain. But when you go in a dry, maybe in those dry areas, when it is hot, or when it is a hot season, and then hope is that ability that I go with an umbrella, because I prayed that it is I pray for rain, and I go with an umbrella to get that expecting rain. So the world needs hope, because we are having people who, for them, they have failed to identify the opportunities around them, because they don't have hope. They are really looking beyond. They are overthinking. They are leaving the opportunities which are around them because they don't have hope. But when we have hope, hope helps us to identify opportunities starting from where we are to beyond, to outside the bracket, and also faith. So the advice I should give to the younger generation is, first of all, we have to love what we are doing. We have to have hope in each and everything we are doing. And faith in whatever we are doing. Faith, it is something like the mindset. Because for the faith, it is like we may have different religion, but what unites us is the religion, the faith. The faith is the mindset. What you put in your mind. In case you say you are optimistic, you are going to see abundance in each and everything. And in case you are pessimistic, you are going to see that even where there is abundance, you're going to see as if it is not there. So that is the little advice which I may give to the younger generation or to the elders. And also, we should not, as we are in each and everything which we are doing, we should not look at only our generation, but we should focus at the next generation. Because for us, our generation is already existing. But what of the next generation? In case we go fight one another and we kill one another, will that generation be happy? The next generation which we are going to create, will it be happy on our deeds? In case everything we are doing, we consider about the next generation, it means that before I do anything, before I hurt you, before I hate you, before I go to dig in the garden, I have to see, is this method which I'm using, is it friendly to the earth? Will the next generation benefit from the method of agriculture which I'm using? And in case we have that in our heart, in case we have that in our mind, we have that in our heart, and we have that in our hands, then we can make this world wherever we want. And each and every generation is going to be happier of the ancestors who existed before them.
Great. I mean, this is fantastic thinking. And the last 3 minutes, what's that you want the people all around the globe to do and what not to?
First of all, what I want people all over the globe to do is maintain peace. I want global peace. Peace for each and everyone, peace in our homes, because since we are not having peace in our homes, then we cannot even have peace for our communities. We cannot have peace in our nations, and we cannot have peace in the world. So I advocate for peace, and then unity. Unity starting from our families, working together with your own children, with your own partners, and then we can work in unity together as teams in our communities, at the same time to the nations. And also is supporting one another because the world is a chain. When you hold my hand, I become more stronger. We need to work collectively to see that we can help one another. And also what I call upon the entire world, or what I would wish to the globe to consider is about thinking about the world, the mindset, and also it is all about unity, network, and then peace for one another. Peace is all about love, is all about harmony, is all about compassion, is all about generosity, and also supporting the smart agriculture, more especially all the sustainable development goals. These sustainable development goals, they are very crucial in the world because they look at sustainability, because there are several things which we are doing in different parts of the world, whereby we are saying that how are you going to overcome poverty when you are inducing a war to one another? How are you going to overcome overcome illiteracy when you are bombing? When you are bombing schools, when children they are dying in schools. So we need to not only to have these policies, not to have these policies on paper, but to have this policy done in action. We need these actions to be like what we to walk or they talk, because these policies which are being brought, they are really good, but they are implementation. So the don'ts which I feel like they should not be there is a stopping of wars. I dislike wars. Let there be reconciliation. Reconciliation can resolve each and everything.
Thank you so much for your wonderful ideas and for your time. Okay, the last thing, what is that you can do for the abundance, the Global Abundance Organization?
For me, I want to be an advocate. I want to be an advocate of abundance. I want to have mentorship, more mentorship about global abundance organization programs. And I want to be a coordinator in Africa. I want to be a vocal point of the change agent to see that these people, they can change their mindset, because several people, what they lack is the information. They lack the information to change their mindset, to see that they can change from the state where they are to the exact state. So I want to be a change agent in Africa and in the world at large. And in case when I'm given that opportunity, I promise that I'm going to give a very good audience, not only to the Global Abundance Organization, but to communities and to several communities, to see that we can see that people, we can start appreciating the resources we are having in our communities, and how to put them right to help us to become self-sustainable and to make this world a better place.
Wow, wow, what a mission you've got and what a vision you have. Constantine, it was amazing talking to you. We'll keep talking to each other. I'll keep taking you on my podcast on Abundance Show. And let's talk more about this. I've sent you my WhatsApp number. Do share your number also. And let's see how we take this mission forward to the generations next. Thank you so much for being on my show. Stay blessed and bye bye. See you next time.